Simil, could you explain China's best-known alcohol?
Baijiu.
And can you explain a little bit about how it tastes and whatnot?
Yeah, I want everyone to know how to spell it first.
Okay.
Because I see the most bastardized spellings of baijiu. It's Baijiu. Baijiu, which means white alcohol. Now, oftentimes, you'll actually see Chinese people mistranslate it as white wine.
Yes, they do that all the time.
They're like, would you like some white wine? You're like, I'll have a Pinot Grigio.
And then you take a sip, you're
no!
like, oh.
Because baijiu is made of sorghum, which is grass. I would say that it takes over 300 tries to be able to become used to it. Mm-hmm. Actually, I won't say that. Like the National Institute of Alcohol said that or whatever. Tasting said that. Yeah. It's one of the hardest things to get used to because sorghum is it's basically a primitive corn.
Yeah.
A primitive grass.
It's a grass, yeah.
Yeah. But it's related to corn.
Yeah.
And when you distill it, it tastes kind of like how puke smells.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's usually over 50% alcohol. So you have this strong puke smelling alcohol that takes a long time to get used to. And if
crazy, like it's 58% alcohol.
It can be up to 70 sometimes.
Yeah, it depends.
I had this one called Donkey Lay Down when I was in Inner Mongolia, and that was in the 70s or something. We used to drink that. It was ridiculous.
So it's like 120 proof or whatever.
Yeah, I never understood that proof crap.
Yeah, so it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Now, the biggest, most important thing you have to understand, this is not an alcohol that you mix with anything. You drink it straight and you binge drink it. That's why it was invented. That's what people do in China. They force each other to drink it until they throw up. This is not something you go what a fine vintage.
Yeah, it's like, it's got a wonderful nose. Now, if you do that, you just burn your capillaries or whatever.
However, they do have overpriced baijiu, and one of the most famous ones, which is considered a luxury brand, is called Mao Tai. It still tastes like shit. It's terrible.
But it's very expensive.
And
you might think we're talking down and exaggerating.
No, we've had
but
lots
listen,
of baijiu.
Here's the thing. We both used to drink a lot. We still drink, not as much. But, when you drink a lot of different alcohols.
Yeah.
And baijiu still is one of the most unrefined alcohols that I've had. Like the most harsh.
It's like moonshine.
It is. It's like drinking moonshine, a Witblitz or something like that we get in South Africa. It's one of these, White Lightning. It's really like a very strong alcohol. It does the job, but it's not something that you savor the taste.
No. So the most important feature of this is that you can't mix it with stuff. This is not like vodka or whiskey where you have like a whiskey sour or a vodka tonic or something like this. If you mix baijiu with anything, the taste just gets a little diluted, but then somehow becomes more vomit-like. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We've tried everything. We've tried to make baijiu cocktails out of everything under the sun, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
However, Luckin coffee...
By the way, Luckin coffee was this big coffee, I don't know, what would you call it? Like chain. Chain. I was gonna say. Chain works. It was gonna be like this extravaganza, It was this big thing that came out that was supposed to compete with Starbucks.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
And they listed overseas, remember, on the stock exchange, and then it turns out that they faked all their numbers, and they actually got removed from the stock exchanges because they lied about it, like so many Chinese companies.
Well, people need a little context in that. Yeah. Coffee never took off in China, right? It was a kind of a rare substance in China to find. So the idea for American investors, and I should say Western investors in general, were that, oh my gosh, finally a coffee brand's going to really take off in China. Starbucks is already there, but what if they had a cheaper equivalent that's going to be more popular? And that's the idea they were sold on. Yeah. So you had Western investors dumping tons of money
into Luckin coffee, and it turned out that it was all scammy.
Yeah.
And they were really inflating their sales numbers and all this. It wasn't true. And so they actually got delisted. There's a whole lot of things that went on. Anyway, it's still around, of course, Luckin coffee.
Their logo's like a deer.
It's like a deer, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a white... Is it a white-tailed
deer? Oh, it could be.
White-tailed deer. White-tailed deer.
Anyway, they came up with this ridiculous idea to mix Mao Tai, which is China's most well-known baijiu, with coffee and have this alcoholic coffee.
That sounds disgusting. That is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life.
With whipped cream.
That is freaking gross.
Yeah.
Would you drink that?
No, absolutely not.
No way. That's like a mistake.
The thing is, the shills are going ape shit about this. They love it.
Must be a mandate.
Everybody loves this. Anyway, of course, it's making big news, and it's a curiosity. So everyone's going out and trying it. So there's tons of social media coverage of people going, hey, I got my alcoholic coffee, my baijiu coffee from Luckin.
Shouldn't they pick a... By the way, coffee is not from China. There are coffee plantations in Hainan.
Yeah.
But it's not like something that took over it. Why wouldn't they pick a more Chinese animal? Because you're not seeing a lot of white-tailed deer walking around China.
No, you're not. Anyway, the fact is, you've got all these foreign China investor forums. They're all like, look, we got to invest in this. China's coming up with these great groundbreaking, products and so on.
Is that something they think is going to appeal to people?
I don't think so.
That's such a bad idea that will not persist.
Anyway, the thing is, like, if you were to go on, say, Twitter, for instance, or X, whatever you want to call it, and you look at
Let's call it Twitter.
You look at the shill accounts, they're all fawning over this idea. They're like, wow, such a fantastic merging, a fusion of, it's insane. But we wanted to know what it really tastes like.
Yeah.
And luckily, some people, some real Chinese people decided to film themselves tasting it.
So not just the foreign white monkey shills.
No, it's not all that hoo-ha. So here we have two, a middle-aged guy and his father, I guess, are trying it out for the first time.
An honest reaction.
I'm pretty sure that's what my reaction would be, to be honest.
Me too. I feel these guys.
Yeah.
These guys are being honest,
This is an honest reaction.
Imagine say, yeah, like, Grandpa, try this out. And he's like, sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, try this. You like baijiu, right? Try this baijiu coffee. But yeah, look at this nonsense. Yeah. Yeah, it's obviously hideously disgusting.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah. So there'd be a couple of memes, Chinese people, we added alcohol to coffee. Isn't that amazing? And then Irish people. Because I don't know about you, but when I was younger, I used to drink a lot of Irish coffees.
No, I mean, I was like more old people drink, yeah.
Yeah,
you're old at heart.
No, I mean, maybe it's just because South Africa's like 10, 20 years behind everywhere.
This is true. My grandma used to drink.
But the thing is, no, you know what it is? Like, you don't drink coffee after a meal, do you?
No.
Like at night?
A lot of people do.
Is it like a dinner thing?
Yeah. Usually decaf.
I've never come across that here.
Oh, yeah. Especially in the 90s. Every time I went out for dinner, people would always get coffee after dessert or with dessert.
With dessert, yeah. That's the thing. I've never come across it here. But in South Africa, you go out to a restaurant, pretty much after your meal, every time it's like, okay, would you like some dessert coffee? And that's,
dude, it was massive in 50s, 60s, 70s. And definitely when I was growing up in the 90s, you still saw it.
Okay, well, it's still a thing.
Fallen out of popularity.
It's still a thing. So when you go out for a meal with your mates and you're drinking and whatever, so you're drinking whatever beer or wine or whatever with your meal, and then dessert comes along, I'll have an Irish coffee.
Yeah.
Because you're still drinking.
Yeah, my grandma used to do that.
Yeah. But it's actually, I don't know, man, like when alcohol's heated up, it just tastes terrible, doesn't it?
So bad, it burns your nose.
It's like heartburn.
Yeah, it's like heartburn.
It's like instant heartburn.
You're drinking heartburn.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway. So, I just one more time want to look at the realistic reactions because you can talk a big game about this being like, look, China's groundbreaking this and that. It's amazing. Let's go to the China Investor Forum and all that kind of nonsense. And this is like, what do you want to invest in here exactly?
I don't know. My generation drank Irish car bombs. That was our thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what is that, IRA? Because it's the Irish Republican Army, obviously. Yeah.
What about it?
Because they did the car bombs.
What does that have to do with alcohol?
So what is the alcohol then?
I think it's like Bailey's. Mm-hmm. And then you drop that into like a beer or some sort of alcoholic beverage. So you drop the shot into another cup of something.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
I gotta remember what that is. Let me see. We
used to drink that. Anyway, the thing is like that is the most realistic, solid reaction to this stupid idea.
It's Bailey's and you drop it into Guinness.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we used to have something similar to that. I don't know if you know what it's called anymore. I love this guy almost puking.
I love their honest reaction.
Yeah, it is so honest. You cannot make that up.
But white monkeys will do it for a tuppence, threepence, perhaps.
Threepence, yeah. But honestly, though, like you will never be able to take away this very honest reaction.
No. It's gotta taste so shit. My god!
It tastes what they look like now. You know that cringe that they're having. Anyway, so that's this new investment idea in China. Now, speaking of beverages, this guy found out he was going to go buy his coconut beer, which, by the way, doesn't that sound terrible?
I love coconut, by the way.
But would you like a coconut beer?
I would not. It does not match.
Yeah.
It'd have that cloying sour taste on the side of your tongue.
Yeah. So he took a UV light to the top because, you've got your expiry dates printed, right?
Yeah.
And he found out that you can see the original expiry dates that had just been like erased and then reprinted.
So they had expiration dates and they covered them with a new one.
Yes. You can actually see the original expiration dates on the coconut beer. So there, see, it says 2023, whatever.
Right.
And then when he looks at the original expiration dates, you can actually see that it's a year old.
Because they want to get rid of the stock.
Yeah, so they're just replacing. This is the unfortunate thing in China. You got to watch out. Lots of expired stuff.
It's not just on coconut.
No,
beer.
of course. This is with a lot of stuff. But it's
good. It shows you.
Yeah. I mean,
that's funny.
It's quite horrendous, and he took a whole bunch. So it's not just one. You can see what does it say?
I wonder how they do that. They
I mean,
it?
the whatever way they print it, I don't know how that's printed.
Yeah.
It could be laser printed. It could be. I actually don't know. Somebody in the audience will know the way they print it, but you can use the same technology to erase it.
That's true.
But obviously, it's not erased enough that a UV light can still pick up the original, expiry date.
The cool thing about this is once you put the new date on, the product becomes fresh again.
Yeah, apparently so. So anyway, just always be aware in China that if a loophole can be found, it'll be found. You know.
So Box.
And this is me, Box.
Unboxing China, hosted by Box.
This is so.
Yeah, I'll get us out of there. Look how bad this. Look at this. You walk in the door like that. Look, it's what is this garbage?
Wow, Box, look at that flying car.
Wow, Box, look at that flying car. It's a flying man.
It's a man.
That looks so bad. Look what she's wearing.
What? Oh my gosh! It's the obsidian bracelet!
Fluffy after work moments are what we really long for.
These fluffy after work moments.
What is that?
She thought outside the box and ended up outside the box, you know what I mean?